Okay, so let's move ahead and kind of now reason about how to get the C program running. And that's our only intention right now. And somewhere I had reasoned that we had to kind of, load the stack pointer register with a reasonable value, with a value that was reachable by the CPU. So, okay, let's see how we can do that. So recall that in the earlier videos, we talked about, this 80 million being the address where the execution starts. Now, turns out on the QEMU machine, this is a RAM location. So what I'm going to do is see if, our luck works here, which is I'm going to simply add kind of 2k-ish to this value and see if that's a safe stack pointer. Okay, so let's just do this first. So what we are going to do is we are going to say, hey, move into stack pointer this number, but instead of, so this turns out to be 4k, and I'm just going to make it 8k, I think, right? So let me first try this, and if it works, I'll explain what just happened. Also, is move a valid instruction? Let's just go and check. Is move somewhere here. In fact, what I wanted to do was load a register. So let me, I think li should work. Load address, okay, and the symbol, load immediate and immediate. So I'm going to use li instead, right? So I'm going to use li, load immediate, and I'm going to use a hash here. So hash in front of a number tells that this is an immediate number. All right, that's the assembly syntax. Let's go ahead and try and compile this. So I'm going to just say make Piyush again. Nope, doesn't work. So what went wrong? Um, hmm, let's see. LISP, illegal operands. What does it translate to? So this is going to become a little bit of R&D now. So I do have an immediate LI destination register. And was I using a safe name? Yes. So SP is X2. I don't know. I'll try X2 here. Maybe it takes, nope, doesn't work. Let's try and remove this and see if it, oh, that worked, which is interesting. So how about I do 10 here? Does that work? Oh, that works too. Great. So I take back my initial comment about the hash. Maybe in certain assemblers it is required and in certain it is not, at least in case of our current RISC-V tool chain. Looks like the direct number is, accepted. So that's good. Okay, so let me compile this again. Fine. And now what I'm going to do is start QEMU. Okay. And go here. I'm going to hide this, remove this, and do make connect GDP. Very nice. When I do NI, oh, okay. So, this is going to not end well. And I'll tell you why. Because we moved the value 80 million, or rather, I moved the value 80 million rather than changing this to 2. I should have done this. So now what's going to happen is the stack pointer is pointing to the same location as the first instruction. And bad things will happen. So let's see. NI, okay, we are within Piyush. We're going to do some subtraction on the SP value. So we have done that. Now, if this is a valid memory location, things will work. If not, bad things will happen. Let's see. Yeah, okay, bad things happen. So I must explain what happened there. So we had the memory that started from hex 80 million. It was 80 with 6 zeros. And we had our first instruction here and then forward. What we did was in the stack pointer, we loaded the value 80 million. I loaded the value 80 million, and then the CPU performed like a minus 16 on it as a result of the decomposed assembly, the C to assembly conversion as a result of that. And so the stack pointer was then pointing right here. And turns out there is no memory there, because of which when it tried to attempt that store instruction, which is, well, which was, so where is the store instruction? Okay, there was a store instruction that was generated, which I'll show you next time when we correct and run this again. So the store instruction failed, right? And then the CPU went in bad state, and then you see that it's pointing to some location 0 and then blah, 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 right? Okay, so let me then, quit GDB and also exit QEMU. Then what I'm going to do is clear both the screens. Control L is the combination to clear screen. Then I'm going to do make clean, then make Piyush, and okay. Then I do start QEMU, and then I do make connect GDB. Okay, all good so far. I'm going to, oh, well, you know what okay, I see is we have the right uh, memory address here. So let's see if things work. So we see that the SP register is loaded with this. And by the way, this was the instruction that failed in the previous run, right? The store could not be attempted or was attempted and didn't go through. I'm going to do LI, that lands me in Piyush. And okay, we are going to now subtract 16. And then we see that the stack pointer is still, pointing to 1 FF0, 8 million plus 1 FF0. Hope and pray that this works this time. Oh yeah, and it worked. Success. Okay, so the store instruction has gone through. We see that we are going to now add store rather the value of SP plus 16 in S0. Don't ask me why. And we should look for S0 now. Where is S0? Oh God, where is S0? Hello. I see S1. Where the heck is S0? It must be somewhere around here. Wow, I cannot find S0. Isn't that strange? I have T0, T1, T2, P. Okay, maybe I think this is S0. Okay, let's see. Let's just go back and see uh, S0 or FP. So it's choosing to call it as FP. So the GDB dashboard has chosen to call S0 FP. So we do see the value being updated here. Now A5 should change to 3. So let's go about doing that. Where is A5? Yes, A5 is 3. This will be used for return. What it is going to do next is move A5 to A0. Again, don't ask me why it wants to do that. It just wants to do it. Well, there is a reason why it does it, except let's not bother about it just yet. Once we are in the C world, we'll reason about it. And then we'll hit NI. Okay, now it's doing something. It's well, doing something. Now it's going to return. And return where? Return back to the J dot instruction, which is, okay, it crashed. Again, there is a reason why it crashed. But nonetheless, so far you should be convinced with the fact that, uh, you know, the stack related problem was solved. We landed into another problem. So my hope was that it would come back here, but it didn't. And, you know, there's a reason to it, which is, I think if we use this instruction here, things should work. and I'll explain as to what happens. First, let me just then, quit QEMU, quit also GDP. So we have solved one problem and landed into another, which is this problem we solved was the stack pointer pointing to the right, a decent location in memory, so that the stores and the loads to stack worked. And then towards the end, we landed into another mix, which is another soup rather, which is we were expecting that on a return, it would return here. Uh, the recipe after it was complete, the Piyush recipe after it was complete, it would return back to J dot, but it didn't. So let's kind of now investigate that. And I proposed a JAL instruction should solve it. Let's see. So I do make Piyush, it's built. I say make start QEMU, started. Then I go here and do make connect GDP. Perfect. Now let's do NI, NI, something else happened. Uh, hmm, interesting. So what went wrong here? Something else went wrong here, but okay. Let me restart this. So it's working correctly, except we didn't see it, so to speak, jump into the Piyush function, and I just want to kind of uh, redo this once again. So let's start. Okay. So when I do an NI, it moves to this instruction right here, right? So now what I'm wanting to do is I'm going to say, hey, step inside, which is like a deliberate way of saying if you see a function call, if you see a jump to a location, I deliberately want you to go inside it. Do not treat that line as one instruction. So earlier what it did was it said, hey, this is one instruction. I'll jump, complete all of what is within Piyush, and then come back. And how did I know it did that? The value of A5 was modified to 3, which happens here, which is within the Piyush function, right? So that is how I knew something went wrong, or rather it did the right thing except didn't show us. So let's see, step inside. Okay, we are in here. Now I can do next instruction because it's going to execute the next instruction. And I want to stop at the red instruction. Okay, perfect. So now what I want you to notice is when I hit NI on this, it'll go back to executing this instruction, right? And that has to do with the JAL command, or the assembly instruction JAL. So let me do an NI first, and by the way, also keep an eye on this right here. So when I do an NI, hey, guess what? We are at J dot. And now no matter how many times I do NI, it's going to stay there because J dot is a forever loop in place, right? Now let's talk about why the JAL worked. So the reason, by the way, J did not work is because, well, first off, this is just unconditional jump. So we just said, hey, jump to Piyush. And when it executed the ret instruction, it was like, hey, return to where? And when we changed this to JAL, it means, hey, jump to Piyush, but also save the return address uh, in the RA register, right? And that is why when you notice the RA register was set to, 80,000,008. And if you're confused, let me explain a little more, like this entire thing, what just happened here. So 80 million is where we had our first instruction. The first instruction had to do with setting the stack pointer to 80. Well, I think this is what it was. Yes, this is what it was, right? So now the stack pointer is pointing, let's say somewhere here, right? And this is exactly this location. So the stack pointer goes like this. a decrement, so to speak. So it reduces in its value. Fair. The stack pointer is pointing here, so the SP register is pointing here, which is great. So at the fourth offset from this value, so at the 0th offset, we had this instruction. On the fourth, we had JAL Piyush. And on the 8th one, we had J dot. So if you now notice, the written address, the RA register, was set to 80,000,008, which is same as this, which then means after you have executed, and by the way, Piyush is kind of, somewhere here, the recipe, the code for that was somewhere here. Once kind of we did a ret, it decided, hey, okay, I must use the value which was in RA, load that into program counter, and that is how we return back to this. If this is not clear to you, I would request roll back few minutes, go back few minutes using the timeline and watch this again. This is so important. What we'll learn or what we'll reinforce going forward is this is exactly how function calls work. And it's a little more nuanced than, this, but this is a major part of how the function calls work. The jump and link, this is, by the way, the JAL here is called, hey, take a jump, but also add this address, put this address, the return address. And return address is what? It's always the address to the next instruction to be executed after returning. Right. So this again, might sound complicated right now. If I have confused you, I'm really sorry. I would encourage that you watch this again. But this idea of being able to link the address of the next instruction and jump to a recipe is at the base of function calls in C. And again, we'll repeat this so many times, it'll just become like second nature to you to be able to predict all of this. But yeah, hopefully you're convinced as to, how we can jump from assembly to C and what is the precondition. And the precondition is there has to be a usable stack, right? And that's about it. So what we'll now slowly start to do is make few more modifications, and maybe we can do that as we're studying the C language. But let's jump into now, the keywords of C and things of those nature and start to absorb and learn the C language. All right, so thank you for being with me as part of this video. I'll see you in the next one.